Welcome to another episode of Construction and Quality Control. In this channel, we are dealing with anything and everything which is required to get success in the construction. Today also I am going to discuss about very small things about the construction, but it is very much useful. The small things matter big. So what is that? That is binding wear. It is a small part, but if it is not doing properly or the quality of the binding wear is not as per the requirement, then the structural integrity will be a problem. So we should not neglect the small things such as binding wear. In today's video, I will discuss what is binding wear, what is the mechanical and chemical properties of the binding wear, what are the tests to be conducted, and what is the IS code recommendation. So what is the best practice. So stay tuned until then to get the full information about the binding wear used in the construction. So what is that? Without wasting time, let's jump into the subject. But before that, if you are new in my channel, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get immediate notification. So let's jump into the subject, that is binding wear, the essential knowledge for the construction personnel in the practice. Now, what is the introduction? The part is, what is the binding wear? Now, we all know that the small tiny wear that we are used for the binding the steel, soft annuloid wear used to tie the rivers or the reinforcement steel at construction site to hold them in position during concrete pouring. Now, if we are not using the binding wear, what will happen? The top reinforcement will come eventually into the bottom reinforcement, and the bottom one will go to the bottom. So the top bar, bottom bar, top distribution bar, all will be in the same place. But according to the design, or the tension zone, the compression zone, and that is why the design parameter is there, so that we need to keep the reinforcement in position as per the design criteria. And how we can make them in a position? With the binding wear and the chair. So binding wear is very crucial in the construction. Then what is the importance that I already discussed? That maintains the structural integrity of reinforcement by preventing displacement during concrete placement. Now, what will happen if it is displaced? If it is displaced, that means the bar designated for the area will not be in the same area. So maybe it is a tensile zone, but we are not tying it properly. It is going to the compression zone where steel is not required. So our purpose will not be solved. Then the structural integrity will be out, the structural stability will be a problem. So that is why it is important to keep the binding wire in position, to keep the reinforcement in position. Then ensure proper alignment of rebars for load distribution and stability, that already discussed. Then what is the characteristics of binding wire? Softens and flexibility for easy tying, high tensile strength to hold reinforcement firmly, then corrosion resistance in specific grades. Then what is the IS code for the binding wire? IS 2802006 specification for mild steel wire, then IS 432 steel reinforcement standard. These two IS code are used, but mainly we'll go check with the IS 280 because it in the 280 is given all the details about the binding wire. So this about the introduction for the binding wire. So what are the types of binding wire we are using in the construction? Where it is given in clause 10 IS 280. So in IS 280 in clause 10, they have given that what will be the different types of bar, that is annulate, clean and limed, bright brown, dull gray, galvanized, copper, tinned and coated and drawn. So there are different types of bar can be used in steel, but in the binding wire generally we are using annuloid or the galvanized, but most cases it's the annuloid. But what is annuloid, that we want to know? That is, annuloid wire is a type of soft flexible wire that is produced by subjecting steel wire to a heat treatment process. So whenever the process is involving to preparing the steel, that is the heat treatment process called annealing. During annealing, the wire is heated to high temperatures and then allowed to cool slowly in a controlled environment. This process removes internal stress, reduces hardness and enhances ductility, making the wire more workable and the less brittle. So that is why in the construction, most of the cases the annuloid binding wire are using, because of this ductility, that workability and the brittleness. In that case, that annuloid is the number one choice. So it is the process of heat treatment called annuloid, that's it called annuloid binding wire. And what is this? Is the different types, but what is the size? Size is coming from in clause 7 of IS 280. Again, it is given 0.125 mm to 12.5 mm, but generally we are using 1.1 to 1.25 or 1 mm binding wire as per the requirement, and such other than those mentioned above shall be supplied subject to agreement between the purchaser and the manufacturer. So these are the guidelines given that these can be used, but that doesn't mean that you cannot produce other sizes also. If the purchaser and the manufacturer is agreed, it is okay. So it is given in the clause 7 of IS 280 what will be the sizes of the binding wire. So what we already discussed about types of binding wire and introduction. The next part we're coming that what is the application of binding wire, the reinforcement timing, mesh work, and the temporary ties. So these are the three things we can use the binding wire. It's small things, but it gives them huge results. If binding wire not tied properly, not in a position, then whole structural stability will be a problem. The next section will go, that is what is the tolerance on thickness. See, everything has the tolerance. So in the table 7 what we check that what will be the sizes. Now there is a tolerance also. So whenever we are getting, we need to check the thickness and whether it is in the tolerance or not. See, up to 0.25 mm tolerance is plus minus 0.01 percentage, and maximum difference between two reading taken at any diameter that is 0.01. Then 0.25 to 0.5, 0.015, over 0.5 to 1.1. See, here is a given all the tables. So what is your, maybe what is 1.12, so it will be coming in this category over 1.0 and up to 1.5. So what is the tolerance? 0.03. So whenever we are getting the binding wire, we need to check the thickness, we need to check the diameter, and we need to check the tolerance also as per the table 1 of IS 280. The next clause is we need to check that what are the test of the binding wire. Now we need to do the testing, and according to the test we need to satisfy whether this binding wire as per our requirement or not. So first things we need to do the tensile test, and we need to check whether it is as per in line with IS 280 or not, where it is given in table 2. What is the tensile properties? See, annealoid we are using, that is 500 max, tensile strength 500, or if it is a galvanized 300 to 550. So we need to check whether our grade of tensile strength of the binding wire, whether it is as per the table 2 of IS 280 or not, that is 500 max. We need to send to the laboratory, we need to do the tensile strength, and according to the tensile strength we need to satisfy that whatever the binding wire we are getting into the side, that is as per the requirement or not. So table 2 is given the tensile properties. Now what is the wrapping test? It is wrapping test as per clause 9 to it is given. That we need to test what is the wrapping, that should be there is no leakage and everything. Then what is the bend test? Bend test is given wire of 5 mm diameter and over or shall be subject to a bend test. The wire shall be withstand being bent through an angle of 90-degree round of a former diameter equal to twice its own diameter without breaking or splitting. So that bend test also you need to perform in the laboratory to ensure that whether it are as per requirement or not. Then coating test. See, coating is there. So you need to check what is the coating thickness or what is the requirement. The galvanized coating of steel wire shall conform the requirements of any of the types of coatings given in IS 4826. So with the get coating also, what is the code has given, that you need to satisfy whenever you are doing the test in the laboratory for your binding wire. So next is what is the limitation and what is the best practice for the binding wire using to get the proper structural stability and the structural integrity. So what is the advantage of binding wire? That all I discuss: easy to use and cost effective, lightweight and flexible for various applications, prevents displacement of reinforcement bar during reinforcement placement. And what is the limitation? Yeah, of course, that is can corrode in humid and saline environments if not coated. So you need to check what is the area of using. The way you treat the reinforcement, the same way you need to treat the binding wire also, because if you treat your reinforcement but not treat the binding wire will be the weak spot, and from the weak spot again the corrosion will start. Then prone to breakage under high tension if improperly handled, and then labor intensive time process in manual applications, but nowadays it is a mechanical application also used. And what is the best practice for binding we are using? Always use is certified. That is the first and foremost criteria. Whatever the binding wire you are getting, you should be used the is certified. Then avoid over tightening, which may lead to rebar misalignment and wire breakage. Store the binding wire in dry covered areas to prevent rust, and use galvanized or stainless steel binding wire in coastal or the environmental areas. That is the best practice you can use whenever you are using the binding wire. So these are about the binding wire you are used in the construction. That is introduction to binding wire, types of binding wire, application of binding wire, tolerance on thickness, taste of binding wire, and advantage, limitation, and the best practice. So these are all about the bonding wire. I hope you find it useful, and if you find it useful, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get immediate notification. And I'm waiting for your valuable comment, so that from your valuable comment everybody will be benefited. And if you want to know anything more about quality control and construction, please let me know. I will come with more content like this. Thank you once again for watching me.